Sweet Lord, tell me I'm on. Why is it not working? Right, surely it's working now. Is it actually working? Can people see me? Can I... Yes, I'm on, I'm working, I'm going. Why did it do that? Chelsea forever, Alf Gates, and Liam Manning, Will Still, Young manager, Ryan Mason, Fabian Ursula, Morecambe manager as well, yeah. Don't know why that took so long. Right, chat, help me out. Right, Vigo. Are we on? Don't know what is going on here. Right, okay, perfect. I think it is actually working now. Oh, sorry for that, everyone. We had a minor technical glitch again. YouTube just decided to be all, yeah, weird. Vigo, how's it going? Good to see you. I was live. I've been live on TikTok for like 20 minutes. I thought I was live on YouTube as well. Ollie, what happened to yesterday's stream? The camera went down, mate. I put it in the chat. Yeah, I did go on the chat. I just couldn't get live. The camera, for some reason, there was an issue with the camera. And today, I was live bang on time. I was live at past. I've been live at past, but for whatever reason, it didn't show up on YouTube. I was live on Twitch. I'm live on TikTok. I've been live on there for 20 minutes or so, whatever. So I've had to redo it on YouTube. Either way, it's all working now. Liam Manning, Wales game on now. Come on, Darlow and co. Don't get injured. Vigo, how much do you think it will turn out? No idea what that means, Vigo. Hey, how's it going, Bubblicious? Good to see you. Am I okay? I'm alright, yeah, thank you. I'm good, how are you? More importantly. Good, good, good. Chelsea forever, Northern Ireland and England have the same anthem. Well, yeah. Because they're both under... I mean, to be honest, you'd be surprised how many countries do sing God Save the Queen. There's a lot of countries... Oh, God Save the King now, obviously. There's an awful lot of countries have that as their national anthem. Vigo, when Northern Ireland has already won over the Slovaks or the Czech brothers, they will at least score one goal. I don't think the Northern Irish will score one tonight. I think Germany absolutely wipe the floor with them. Germany will batter these tonight. I hope I'm wrong. I'd like to think Northern Ireland will do it. But I think it's going to be Germany. Yeah. I fancy Germany tonight. But yeah, I mean, to be honest, Northern Ireland, I think they've only actually won twice against Germany in their entire history. And they're going to be heavily reliant on Isaac Price tonight as well. Isaac Price started quite well at West Brom since his time at Everton. Hey, and speaking of young managers as well, we've been speaking of young managers, Nagelsmann. Julian Nagelsmann wants a prodigious young manager as well. Ollie, Key just went F it and put out the full schedule. Well, to be honest, mate, I just thought to myself, well, if I can't be on, then I might as well be productive and I'll do the whole, you know, the next month, basically. So we've got the next month on. So, yeah, you can at least see what games we've got coming up. Vigo says he thinks it's going to be Germany 5, Northern Ireland 1. I'd like that. Lots of goals. That's what we want. When's kick-off? It is in about 10 seconds. It's literally about to kick off right now, mate. Very beautiful stadium. It is, and it's off. We're off at the... what's it called again? The Clearer Twist. There you go. The Clearer Twist National Stadium. It's always going to be Windsor Park, innit? Let's be honest. That's what Northern Ireland's National Stadium is. It's Windsor Park. But it's the Clearer Twist Stadium anyway. Alex, did you see the darts last night? I didn't, mate. I don't really watch darts, if I'm honest with you, Alex. It's not really my thing. To each their own, whatever, you know, different strokes and all that. But, yeah, not really my thing, the darts. Vigo, I also have news. I asked my girlfriend to marry me, so she's not really a girlfriend anymore. Nice. Congratulations, Vigo. That's great news. Well done. Alex, is Wirtz playing? He is, yeah. Florian Wirtz is starting on the right-hand side for the Germans. The right-hand side as well, which is odd, given that he's far more likely to be on the left. Well, do you know what? They've put him on the right, but I don't think he is. I think on flash scores they had him on the right, but I think he is going to be through the middle. He's going to be on the 10, isn't he? Liam Manning says Bellamy falls into the young coach category as well. Bellamy, yeah, and Robbie Keane as well. Robbie Keane's a young coach. He's at Ferencvaros now, isn't he? Ollie, what sports do you watch that isn't football? Honestly, none really, mate. I don't mind watching a bit of rugby league occasionally because I've only ever I'm originally from St Helens, so I've got to follow rugby league a little bit, haven't I? Jack Wilshere taking Luton to the Prem, and Liam Judas Kuhl as well. Judas Kuhl, he's right. Swifty, weird this being live on BBC Two. Well, to be honest, Scotland wasn't it? I'm sure there's a few World Cup qualifiers are getting stuck on BBC Two. Vigo says, in addition to football, I also watch basketball and then esports. Esports. Lee won again, says Alex. Yeah, I was going to say Hull KR winning the Super League as well was a... I mean, Saints haven't had a great year. Saints didn't do too badly getting to the semis, but not a great year for Saints. Here's Florian Wirtz and knocked away by Northern Ireland. Unlucky, good ball. Paul Welland's gone. Yeah, Welland's leaving. Sad, club legend. Don't think a lot of fans really like that decision either, to be honest. You know, most Saints fans seem to want to keep him. Vigo, what's funny about esports? It's not really sports, is it, Vigo? Come on. It's not really... Esports isn't sports. You like watching people play whatever game you like watching, but hey, esports. There's no sports about it. Swifty, I was glad to have the darts during the football international weekend. See, I don't mind. I don't mind watching the internationals. I quite enjoy it. Makes it a bit different. But I don't really want any team to win. Like, I'm not hoping for anyone, really. Germany, England, whatever. Chelsea Forever says, I hope Northern Ireland will score the opener. Do you think they will, though? That's the question. It's the big question. Gnabry, down the left-hand side. Just about keeps it in, does he? No. Vigo says, like with esports, you also sweat, get injured, or think. So for me, it's a sport. Maybe so. I wouldn't class it as a sport, I guess. But hey, to each their own, man. Swifty, usually I'd still have Notts County to watch, but we have 3 internationals now. But they still, to be honest, they still play. Don't they? Because I'm doing Notts County against Cheltenham in a couple of weeks' time. Cheltenham against Notts County, and that is the next international break. in November. There's another international break. I hate it in the first part of the year. Nearly a Wales goal, says Liam. Come on, Belgium. I need a Belgium win in that one. Or at very least a Belgium or draw. MK13, Northern Ireland, got any chance at the World Cup? No, I think they'll get to the World Cup, but I don't know about actually doing anything in it. Swifty Saturday was cancelled for us. Oh, was it really? I didn't know that. Germany, all the early pressure here. Do you think Isak needs to start performing? Chance. Oh, potential penalty. Here's Voltemade. Wirtz. Unlucky. Out to Kimmich. Shot. And it's going to go behind for a corner. Big claim for a penalty. Big claim for a penalty. Might be a pen here for Germany. Might be a penalty. Oh, I think he might get away with that, you know. Let's just watch this back. Nah, you're never getting a pen for that. Never getting a pen for that. Nah, nothing wrong with that. Forest Green goal, says D, praying Voltemade doesn't get injured, really need him for our upcoming games. And do you think Isak needs to start performing? To be honest, mate, no, I'm not. I think Alexander Isak has had very little football. We've talked it to death, but he has played very little football, so I don't really have any issue with him being a little bit out of fitness and out of form, and he's bound to take a little bit of time to get up and running. Right, it's going to be a corner for Germany here. Finners Matti, Gravenberch injured. Yeah, but how long's he out for? Isn't it only a knock? I'm sure he's only out for maybe a week or so. Vigo, what football league do you follow? I follow Premier League, Serie A, Serie B, Bundesliga and Fortuna Liga. To be honest, mate, I follow most football across Europe. We watch a lot of football on this channel, but I'm forever keeping up to scratch with most leagues across Europe. Chance. Oh, and again, hit it. Unlucky. Over the bar from Florian Wirtz. Just over. And Swifty, Isak playing for Sweden is good for Liverpool. Exactly, this is it. I actually thought he played quite well for Sweden the other night against Switzerland. Set up Bergvall when it was 0-0. He did really well. Raced clear, knocked it across the face of goal, and Lucas Bergvall should have scored it. It was a really good chance for him, and Isak put it on a plate for him. So, yeah, I agree. Totally agree. Isak going to Sweden for a couple of games is going to be really good for Liverpool. Trigvi says thoughts on Norway this year. Well, they'll go to the World Cup. They will go to the World Cup. Whether or not they actually... I don't think they'll do anything at the World Cup. But they'll certainly go to the World Cup given the huge amount of teams available to go that can qualify. Finners Matty says, I saw that it might be a hamstring. As I understood it, it was only like it was a precautionary thing. Yeah, here you go. Ryan Gravenberch was withdrawn at half-time with the Netherlands' comfortable win over Finland on Saturday. He was replaced by Tajani Reinders at half-time over concerns over a potential fitness issue. Ronald Koeman said Ryan indicated that he had some minor hamstring problem. Of course, we didn't take any risks with that. And apparently, it's been cleared as he should be okay. It's just he felt a slight tweak and actually he's all right. So I think precautionary. He'll be assessed when he gets back to Liverpool, but I honestly don't think. I would still expect he plays in the United game. Put it that way. Wales 1-0 up. Road on goal. Bloody hell. Be yourself, Dylan. Cape Verde have qualified for the World Cup. This is it. Cape Verde, Uzbekistan. It's a massive number of teams in that World Cup now. So it's almost harder to not qualify for the World Cup. It's going to be a huge number of games. I actually think it's going to dilute the World Cup a little bit. I don't like it. I'd rather have less teams. Shot from distance for Germany, just over the bar. D says, I think Isak will miss the balls in the box because Liverpool don't really do that. Well, Isak didn't really score too many off balls into the box last year for Newcastle. It was a lot of balls into the channel. Newcastle played, maybe not anymore, but did play quite similar to Liverpool in that sense. High press, forcing errors, and then Isak played in behind. There was a couple of goals that he scored where it was like crosses in. But, yeah, I don't think it's too dissimilar from Newcastle to Liverpool. He'll just get more chances with us than he did for Newcastle. Here's Voltemada. Tackled, and it's gone out for a throw-in. Swifty says Wales are terrible too. Wales are not terrible. Well, I don't think Wales are brilliant. I'd be surprised if Wales qualified. Trigby says we should go. So far, we won all 6 plus 26 goal difference. Yeah, that's because you've got a mutant up front. An absolute mutant up front. So good, Haaland, isn't he? North Macedonia, top of the group as it stands. Do you remember North Macedonia knocking Italy out of the... Was it the Euros the other year? Was it the World Cup? It was the World Cup, wasn't it? North Macedonia beating Italy and stopped them going to the World Cup. Hey, Pope, how's it going? Missed you last night for the Scotland game. It was dire. Yeah, it wasn't brilliant, was it? But hey, they got the result in the end. I did watch it. That's odd, isn't it? By the way, I forgot to mention that I was gonna talk about this the other night when England played Wales. But Bukayo Saka scored his 13th goal for Arsenal. Sorry. Bukayo Saka scored... Let me redo that. Bukayo Saka scored his 13th goal for England, making him the most prolific Englishman in Arsenal's history. Taking over Cliff Bastin. Cliff Bastin, of course, the great Cliff Bastin in Arsenal, who held the record that I think Thierry Henry beat and Ian Wright might have beat. I can't remember. Chance. Northern Ireland. Unbelievable. It's in. It's 1-0 Northern Ireland. Oh my God, they've started off with a bang. It's Dan Ballard. Oh, is it ruled out? Oh, he's ruled it out for offside here. Dan Ballard screaming at the linesman. I don't know why. What's going on here? There's definitely going to be a check. It's a long ball. There's definitely no offside. Wins the first header. I think he might be... Yeah, he's offside. Oh, what a shame. Northern Ireland very, very nearly going in front there. Big Dan Ballard to give him his full title. Very nearly putting Northern Ireland in front, but it's been ruled out for offside. Trigby says, Haaland is great, Sander Berge is the GOAT, and Noosa is prime Neymar when he plays for Norway. Hey, and Odegaard when you get him back, assuming he can stay fit. Germany average without Musiala, says Swifty. D says, not really, he's played 181 mins in the Prem now and only had 4 shots. Yeah, but that's because he's still really, low on fitness. Honestly, mate, I can't tell you how much he's been blowing a gut when he's been playing with us. He looks absolutely shattered. And it's always going to take a little bit of time for him to get up to fitness and up to speed. So Liverpool fans aren't concerned at all about Isak. Not at all. He's a top player. He's a world-class striker. Yeah, give him chances, he'll score. I don't think anyone would doubt that. But yeah, I thought that was a really interesting one because I was thinking to myself, like, how many English players Arsenal have had over the years. Like, there's not been too many. Given how big a club Arsenal are, they've not really had too many, like, really big, important players for England, have they? It's always been a club, really, where foreigners have thrived, I guess. Certainly in the Premier League era. Certainly under Arsene Wenger, obviously goes back to, I think it was 2006. Arsenal fielded an entire squad of players with no Englishmen. So they've always been a squad with very few Englishmen, but you know, Ian Wright didn't have a great England career, even though he's a fabulous striker for Arsenal. There was Ray Parlour, again, didn't really have a massive England career, did he, Ray Parlour? Jack Wilshere, yeah, another one, didn't really play an awful lot. Sol Campbell, maybe is one of the best. Tony Adams, he had a really good England career. Ashley Cole when he was there. There's just not a huge sort of standout. Paul Merson was good for England for a bit. I'm trying to think of others really we might have missed. Theo Walcott, yeah. Theo Walcott's not a bad shout. Probably is. I'm surprised really, Theo Walcott. If someone said to me how many goals did Theo Walcott score for England, and I probably thought, I don't know, maybe 10 to 15 or thereabouts. AFC Harv, how's it going? Good to see you. And Trigvi says, well, right now we have a couple of Bodo Glimt boys and rest of our national team plays outside our league. Yeah, you've got, is it Patrick Berg and, is it Evian? Evian plays for Bodo, doesn't he? AFC Harv, it's going good, mate. How's yourself? Yeah, I'm good. Really good. Oh, Bjorkan. Oh, right, okay. Thought it might have been Hakon Evian. Scored a hat-trick in one game, Walcott, I think. But I always thought he was like scored in goal gluts, didn't he? Yo, Kee, have you seen Jack Wilshere is new Luton boss? Yeah, I have, yeah. Yeah, that's one of the things I wanted to talk about. I've got some talking points on today's live. So we're not just watching the game. We're going to be talking about different talking points from this week. The week in football. And AFC Harv just seen Wales are winning against Belgium right now. Yeah, they're flying. Big goal that for Wales. Let's share Key. Who's the better player out of Owen and Fowler after watching that interview with Rio? It's not even close. It's not even close. Robbie Fowler was... Oh. Robbie Fowler could do everything Michael Owen could do and more. Miles better. Miles better. Owen was probably that little spell, that like 2-year period when he first burst onto the team, onto the scene, he was unreal. But Michael Owen never really wasn't a prolific goal scorer. Michael Owen was not a prolific goal scorer. He was a good goal scorer, and he was fantastic for his age. He was like a prodigal son, but he was never better than Fowler. Swifty, I can't believe an intelligent guy like you thinks that. Or you kind of watched much of Robbie Fowler. Robbie Fowler is not only better than Michael Owen, he is the best youngster that the Premier League has ever seen. And I honestly, the best youngster we have ever seen in the Premier League. He said he was a golden boot at 17. Yeah, and he was, and that was the bit that was most interesting, the most spectacular thing about Michael Owen was like, oh my God, look at this kid. Like, if this is what he's like now, imagine how good he could be. But he never really kicked on. He never scored 20 goals in the Premier League. Never scored 20 goals in a Premier League season. If you look at the list of strikers who've scored 20 goals in a Premier League season, it's embarrassing that Michael Owen never got to it. Never got to it. Robbie Fowler was knocking in 30 plus goals for about 4 years running, from the ages of 17 to 20, and then he did his knee. 17 to 20, he was R9. He was R9, he was Shearer. And in fact, Gary Neville agrees with me on this one. Gary Neville actually 100%. Gary Neville said if Robbie Fowler hadn't got injured, he might have been England's best ever centre forward. So I mean, Gary Neville's saying that. That's how good Gary Neville was. Sorry, that's how good Robbie Fowler was, rather. Lisher said he has a Ballon d'Or in his decline. But he got the Ballon d'Or the year that he got injured. That's why he got it. He got it for the year before when he was great. Rooney better at that age. I disagree. Danny, what match you watching? There's if you just look up here, Danny, there's a slight clue. There's a little clue for you. Caleb says, Kee, the in-betweeners who's returning. I've seen, yeah. I don't think it's a great idea to bring it back for what it's worth. Lisha says, is that much Liverpool bias, though? In what sense? What bias that I think Fowler's better than Owen? Not like both played for LFC, but still. That's what I mean. How can it be... Yeah, it can't be biased, can it? Clarkey says it's the Clearer Water Stadium, Key. It's not, it's the Clear Twist. Clearer Twist. Sam Brown, that was a good shot from Ukraine. Conor Plyanka and Callum. So Norway beat them the other night. Not even saying their name. Big up Ireland. Pen for Belgium. Yay, 1-1. Ampadu. Get in there. Pup, Fowler was daft as a brush. He would try crazy stuff and it would work. Owen was too by the book. And Ethan, I would take Alan Shearer over anyone. And Alan Shearer, yeah, listen, Alan Shearer for longevity, of course, but I think Fowler at his best. If you take Robbie Fowler's best season, and if you were to watch, I mean, maybe you have to be of a certain age. I'm not trying to be patronising or arrogant in that, but maybe you have to be of a certain age and appreciate that. I know there's some people who are of a certain age and don't, and that's fine too. But what I will say is, Robbie Fowler, it's so easy to underplay what an unbelievable player he was. He wasn't just an alright Premier League. The guy won Premier League Young Player of the Year in back-to-back seasons. I still don't think it's ever been done since. He was unreal. 30 plus goals a year at like 17, 18, 19, 20. 4 years running. The guy was sickening. Swifty, Fowler's a great finisher, but Owen's pace as a youngster was frightening. It was, but so was Fowler's. Fowler's pace he wasn't as quick as Owen, but he was maybe slightly less quick, but a miles better finisher, and he could score all sorts of goals, Fowler. Owen never scored many with his head. Fowler scored loads with his head. He never scored any from outside the area, Michael Owen. Fowler would wrap him in from 30 yards out. Left foot, right foot. He was the best finisher I have ever seen. Ever. The guy scored goals of all kinds. He would volley him in top corner. He'd bobble him in. He'd tap him in. He could rocket him in. He took free kicks. The guy was absolutely incredible. It's not just those 4 seasons, no, Lisha. What I'm saying is, well, I mean, do you know what? Yeah, even if it is just those 4 seasons, if you look at those 4 seasons of Fowler and maybe the first 4 seasons of Owen, there's no comparison. There's no comparison. Robbie Fowler is streets ahead. Not even just a slight bit ahead. Streets ahead. Fergie 1968. How many leagues did Shearer and Fowler win? 1 for Shearer and none for Fowler. D says, who do you think's the best footballer ever? It's tough to say, isn't it? It's tough to say with positions and everything. It varies based on position. Caleb, why don't you think it's a good idea to bring back the in-betweeners? Because the in-betweeners is about a phase in your life when you're at school and you're at high school and whatever. And now they're not in high school. So it's not going to be fun, is it? It's about a phase in your life where you can be silly and you can be stupid and you can identify with those characters because everyone had a mate like Jay, didn't they? Who said, oh yeah, done that, mate. Yeah, done it. I've completed it. I've done that one thing better than you. There's always them. So everyone recognised, or like hopeless romantics like Simon, or the geek like it was all. Everyone had those types of mates. The big dork, there was always a Neil, a Simon, a Will. There was always those lads around school. Whereas it won't be the same now. They'll be middle-aged. You can't have an in-betweeners now. Swifty, I remember us playing Newcastle in the Cup and a young Andy Cole was incredible. I'll agree with you on that. Andy Cole, for me, I actually think Andy Cole's up there with Robbie Fowler. Yeah, I would absolutely have Andy Cole up there. I think Andy Cole's better than Michael Owen. Genuinely. Andy Cole was incredible. Liam, Key, have a look at that pen from Belgium. Shocking from the ref. I'll have a look at it at half time, mate. Yeah. Germany still coming forward here down the right-hand side. Lisha, is he the best player you think LFC Academy have produced ever, or are you taking Gerrard? Oh, no, it's Gerrard. Listen, Gerrard's the best ever. Of course he is. Gerrard's like generational talent, and he became the generational talent, whereas Robbie Fowler, he was unbelievable, but the injury killed him. That's the thing. Belgium 2-1, what a finish. Yes, go on the Belgians. Joe, how's it going? Oiki, haven't seen you in years. And Lisha, can you compare Fowler to any current or recent players, since I'm not a pensioner like you to really understand? Can I compare Fowler to any current or recent players? I would say he was a lot like Wayne Rooney. Yeah, I would say Fowler was... Do you know what Fowler was a more prolific Wayne Rooney. Maybe not quite as feisty or fiery. I feel like Fowler maybe had an element of composure to his game. He just exuded confidence. I would say Fowler was a lot like Wayne Rooney when he first broke onto the scene, but Fowler scored more goals. That's the difference. There you go. That's the difference. Fowler was Wayne Rooney, but Fowler was a lot more prolific with it. Imagine a Wayne Rooney that's maybe a little bit less creative, but a lot more prolific. Thomas Meunier, it was for Belgium. Nice. Good player, him. Underrated. Scored at Anfield as well, Thomas Meunier. Joe, is Voltemada doing all right? And be honest, no, mate, he's not really had a kick. He's not really done anything. Swifty, Rooney's better than Fowler for me, just bigger and stronger with the ability to. I'd say Rooney was stronger. I'd agree with that. I think Rooney was stronger, Fowler was quicker. I'd say Fowler scored... Well, Fowler did score more. That's not an opinion. Fowler scored more. Rooney probably created more. But Fowler scored a lot more. A lot more. So who do you think is more complete? I guess it depends on what you want. It's yeah, it varies. I mean, for me, I loved watching Fowler and I really loved watching Wayne Rooney. They're both unbelievable players. I think if I could have one player in my team, I could only have one. I think I probably would pick the peak Robbie Fowler, like 19, 20 years old, tigerish. Because I think Rooney's best probably came more like when he was 25, 26. He was a bit older. He'd kind of calmed down a bit. Rooney was a bulldog, loved the fight. Yeah, listen, Rooney was unbelievable. I loved Wayne Rooney too. Top player. D says, for me, it's Neuer, Ramos, Zidane and Messi. Yeah, not bad shouts. Not bad shouts at all. I would say, genuinely would say that Van Dijk and Alisson are the best that I've seen in terms of goalkeeper, and I'd say Gerrard. In fact, I'm not even going to... I genuinely think it's... And you're going to look at me like, ooh, I would say it's Gerrard. Gerrard and Messi. Messi, your attacker. If we're going to go centre forward, I'd genuinely say Suarez. Yeah. I'd say Gerrard, Van Dijk, Alisson. Swifty, Rooney was quick when he was younger. He slowed later in his career. He was quick, but he wasn't lightning. he was never lightning. He was always just all right. Like, he didn't quite have the pace that, say, an Owen or even a Fowler or an Andy Cole had. He was never slow, but he wasn't lightning. Lou Harwood says, one of my 2 players I copied my style from was Rooney. Who was your other one? That's the important question. Kevin Campbell. Joe Max Moore. Lisha, do you think we see him in Ronaldo-Messi combos if it wasn't for the injury? Fowler? Who? Do we see who in Ronaldo-Messi conversations? No, I don't think you see it. Oh, chance! It's 1-0 Germany! And it's Voltemade with the goal! It's a goal for Nick Voltemade. There you go. Oh, Northern Ireland are behind. First goal falls to Germany, and it's Nick Voltemade. Joel's absolutely loving it. It's just a ball. It's just a corner. It's not a fantastic, unbelievable goal, but it's a corner whipped in, and Voltemade rises highest. And do you know what? It goes in off his shoulder. I think it might even go in off his arm. Oh, that's not even a header. It's not even a header. It's not even a header. It goes in off his shoulder. That might even be handball. Look at the state of this. Oh, you're not having that. You're not having that. That's absolutely shocking. Send the dirty get off. Get him off the field. That were diabolical. Goal's a goal. Joe Kee, away. Lou says Suarez was third and I couldn't understand him. I couldn't stand him, sorry. Aaron, do you reckon Northern Ireland will qualify? I hope so. There's a check. There is a genuine check here for handball now, by the way. There's a genuine check, and it's been given. The goal's been given just about. Oh, Nick Voltemade with a... Honestly, it was there. It was like there. And it just bounced in off him. Sam, hey Key, what happened with the other streams a few days ago? It was Saturday and Sunday. It was basically, the last couple... It's Sunday today. It was Monday today. What are you talking about? Sunday and Saturday, the camera just was playing up, and I think I had an issue with the battery in the end, it turned out to be. But I've sorted it. I fixed it. It should be fine now. Going forward, everything's okay. So, yeah, I had a couple of issues, technical issues, that I needed to go and sort out, and managed to sort it there. So I think, battery was the problem. But I panicked, basically. I came and sat ready for the Northampton v Rotherham stream. I was just about ready to go. And I turned the camera on, and I looked at the screen, and I was like, oh, why is it not coming on? Be yourself, Dylan. Kosovo 1, Sweden 0. Oh, Sweden. Sweden's having an absolute nightmare. D says, good one for his confidence. First German senior goal. And Swifty, I think, hit at the back of the shoulder. Lou, Baines was my other one for his loyalty, wisdom, intelligence, perfectionist, humbleness. What a player Leighton Baines was, top player. And Joe, Isak can't even score with his feet, never mind his shoulder. I've seen enough deduct 10 points from Everton. That's brilliant. Come on. Lisha, sure you're gutted you missed such a thriller. Well, it ended up being Northampton and Rotherham was actually quite a decent game, but then I had Oldham and Barrow, which was the 5:30 kickoff on Saturday. That finished 0-0. Liam Manning, if Sweden lose, does the manager go? Well, it's Jon Dahl Tomasson, the manager, isn't it? Yeah, Jon Dahl Tomasson, I would imagine. Yeah, that's going to be a difficult one for him to stay in post. If he loses against Kosovo, Sweden probably out of the World Cup. Genuinely. Be yourself, Dylan. Didn't know Robbie Savage is managing Forest Green. We've done 2 Forest Green games this season. I'm sure you've been in the streams. We talked about this. Zach, how cheeks is words? How cheeks? What does cheeks mean? How cheeks is verts? I have no idea what that actually means. Lou Harwood says, main question is, how do you have your steak? Ooh, medium rare. Medium rare with a little bit of chimichurri. Chimichurri sauce. Zach means crap. To who? Who does it mean crap to? It don't mean crap to anyone who speaks English, Chief. I don't know what it means. Nobody else knows what it means. If it means crap, say crap. Talking out your ass. Joe on Sky Sports, it said Wissa may not be going to AFCON as he wants to repay his faith to the tune. You are joking me. You are joking me. He's going to the AFCON. He's going to play for the Congo. The DRC. Zach, how crap is verts? Well, I don't know. Have you got a particular scale you want to focus on? Be yourself, Dylan. Cheeks, who says that? Well, evidently Zach does. I didn't even know what it was. Cheeks, how cheeks is verts? Who says that? Exactly. That sounds like the most AFTV comment you could have possibly... You're defo an Arsenal fan. I'm calling it now. You're an Arsenal fan, aren't you, Zach? You're 100% an Arsenal fan with a comment like that. Cheeks. How cheeks is verts? Has anyone genuinely heard that? Lou, what's chimichurri or whatever? Chimichurri? You never heard of chimichurri? Oh, have a look at it. Honestly, it's unbelievable. It's what the Argentinians have with the steak. Zach, nah, I'm just Gen Z. Yeah, nah, you're not Gen Z, Chief. You're not Gen Z. You're not new wave. Just talking crap. Just be straight talking. Stop with all this AFTV nonsense. Zero ball knowledge, bro. Just say talking out your ass. I don't think Florian Wirtz is very good. And that's fine if you don't think he's very good. I'll ask you why. Why don't you think he's very good, Zach? That's a better question. Why don't you think Florian Wirtz is very good? Because I reckon if I'd have asked you, I don't know, 6 months ago, I reckon if I'd have said to you 6 months ago, name me your top 5 number 10s in world football, right? I reckon you'd have put Florian Wirtz in your top 5 number 10s in world football 6 months ago. All of a sudden you wouldn't now. It's odd, isn't it? What changed? Clarkey, Man United will win 2-1 Key on Sunday. You wish. You ain't scoring 2. You know, you might score 1 if we have a bad day. You ain't scoring 2. Not a chance you're scoring 2. Swifty, I don't see £100 million football in inverts, to be honest. I could be wrong, but I don't see it yet. But is that not a metric you've just created? You don't see £100 million. Who do you see £100 million footballer in? That's because you don't see many as £100 million footballers. None of us do. It's a weird thing because there's not many £100 million footballers around. But that's the direction of travel in football now. So if you sign a 22-year-old player with that much ability, 100 million's the going rate. Zach, what does Wirtz do other than cover ground? Have you watched much of him? Did you watch much of him? Like, before the Premier League? And be honest, it's fine if you haven't. I'm not like that. That doesn't invalidate your opinion. You were definitely one of those that glazed Darwin for 2 years. What do you mean by glazed, Zach? Again, mate, speak clear English, lad. Just use proper words. Just proper words is fine. Lou Harwood, Letitia was underrated, by the way. Price tag today. See, I think Letitia would probably be like a 50 to 60 million today. It's like a Lallana. Iceland 1, France 0. Oh no. Zach, glazed means supported or defended. Yeah, but I mean, Darwin Núñez wasn't a bad striker. Darwin Núñez isn't a bad striker. It wasn't about glazed. It was about him being a really, really decent player in the squad, and he'd scored big goals for Liverpool whenever he'd played. Darwin Núñez kept coming off the bench and scoring winners for Liverpool. So that was the problem. People like you didn't understand. And again, you've still not said, Zach, who you even support. Just be honest, mate. It's fine. Just be honest. G Lawrence is Vert's playing key. He is, mate. Yeah. And Joe says Vert's build-up play for Salah's sitter was insane, to be fair. And do you know what? If he was playing, imagine a Florian Wirtz that is playing and doesn't have that confidence. Like, the confidence that he had to have to pull that off was unreal. Sam, okay, I saw you're doing the Chelsea v Wolves game in November. I am indeed, yes. And Callum says, Michael Oliver in charge for our game against United. Elisa is ours next year. Yes. Zach, for 90 million, Darwin was awful. Wirtz would be good value if he cost 20 million. Who do you support, Zach? Come on. Level is up. Like, just level us up. Because I can see where your opinions are coming from then. Because it's clear you're not talking from a place of sincerity. Swifty, I think for that money I was expecting the next David Silva. David Silva, though, also started very, very slowly, didn't he? Like, when you say you expected the next David Silva, do you think it might have had an impact, the fact that maybe five or six players have changed? Do you think that might have... Do you think that could have had an effect? That 5 or 6 players have changed in Liverpool's squad? Do you think that could have had an effect on how easy it is for Wirtz to embed? Zach, I don't support a Premier League team, bro. PSG. You support PSG? Interesting. And like you said, you didn't answer, did you watch much of Florian Wirtz before he moved to Liverpool? Lou says, any player who everybody thinks is or was class but you found overrated. Swifty, I think he's coming from a weaker league which carries big risk. I mean, there's a lot of players who've come from that league though and done really well in the Prem. In fact, I would argue most have come from that league and done really well. You say it like I mean, are most leagues not weaker than the Prem? Every league's weaker than the Prem. They're all weaker than the Prem. France, the French league's weaker than the Prem. The Spanish league, the German, the Italian, they're all weaker than the Prem. If he'd bossed it in Spain, I'd be more confident. But if he'd bossed it in Spain at 22 for Real Madrid or Barcelona, do you think we're getting him for 100 million? It's not happening, is it? User not found. One player who I rate highly and has shown glimpses is Xavi Simons. Yeah, Xavi Simons absolutely is. Thank you for the gift. Appreciate that. Pup, if we're being honest about the teams we support, my big team is Erdry and my wee team is now Rangers. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. G. Lawrence, I hope Wirtz scores or assists soon, mate. Everyone just comes on your live just to state how he's been. Well, I mean, most of the people who ask it's you, innit? Let's be honest. G. Lawrence, you're most of the questions we get about Florian Wirtz. But, that said, doesn't that just show the fact that it's nonsense? If one goal and assist turns it all around, one goal and assist, or one goal or assist, stops the comments about Florian Wirtz. That tells you everything. Zach, I did watch him. Complete PR merchant. Adley, now at Bournemouth, was miles better. I mean, that's a very, very Very, very big stretch. That's a very big stretch. To say that Amin Adli's better than Florian Wirtz is quite the leap. But hey, that's, you own it, lad. Swifty, I'm not saying he's a dud, far from it. I'm just not sure yet. And that's fine too. That's perfectly fine too. Nobody's saying that you have to say he's world class and he's unbelievable and what an absolutely fantastic player he's been. Nobody's saying that at all, are they? The only thing that is nonsense to say, for sure, is that he's absolutely awful after whatever many games, 7, 8 games. Like, the amount of players who've not really done an awful lot in the first 7, 8 games in the Prem and then gone on to have incredible careers, there's loads of them. Loads of players start poorly. 3 minutes added on at the end of this first half here at Windsor Park. Lou says, do you think Wirtz might be as good or better than Coutinho? I think he's a very similar player, Lou. But I'll tell you something, I would... If we get a player who is 80% of Coutinho or 70% of Coutinho, I will be delighted. Because I think 100 million for a player who's nearly as good as... Not even as good, just nearly as good as Coutinho. We win the league and we win it for 2, 3, 4 years. Coutinho was a difference maker. One of the best players I've seen for Liverpool in the Prem. Unbelievable player. At his peak, he was just unplayable. And it didn't work for him at Barcelona, and he just completely went downhill. It was totally the wrong move for him. And that shows you, if nothing else, doesn't it, that moves can determine how good a player is. Sometimes it goes right, sometimes it goes wrong. Coutinho was an unbelievable player at Liverpool. For Barcelona to pay 140 million for a player. 140 million. He's still to this day like, what, the second or third most expensive player of all time? Philip Coutinho, that's how good he was. People forget, honestly, people write him off. Unbelievable player. G. Lawrence, did you say Gyökeres was awful after 7 or 8 games? I said he was awful before he joined. And that's exactly what I said, yeah. I said that Gyökeres was awful before he joined Arsenal. So this isn't about a player who... So Arsenal signed him off the basis of what he did at Sporting. And I'm telling you that what he did at Sporting was crap. That was crap. And I don't think he's really done all that well to dissuade that. But Florian Wirtz at Leverkusen was anything other than crap. But everyone else, by the way, gets the same logic. You know, I've not gone in on players like Jeremy Pino or even Voltemada, by the way. Voltemada's not had any treatment like that. Zach, can we at least agree that Frimpong is a donkey? Why would you say that Frimpong's a donkey? Yeah, why would you say Frimpong was a donkey? That's odd. Where's that come from? He played like 3 games for Liverpool, if that. And he scored in one of them. I mean, what? And he got a penalty in another. I mean, he's literally got a winning penalty and scored in 2 of the games out of the maybe 3 or 4 that he's played. So no, I don't think Frimpong's a donkey. That's a really odd statement to make. Very odd. That just, honestly, it just sounds like you're desperate for attention, Zach. Sounds like you're a young man who's not had an awful lot of attention in his life. Maybe your family's not showing you enough. Maybe you've just not really had an awful lot growing up. I don't know. I don't know what it is, mate. I feel you have my eternal sympathy for whatever it is that you need to come on and give reaching opinions like Adley is better than Wirtz and Frimpong is a donkey, so that people go, whoa, that guy is edgy, man. That guy is edgy, bro. He's got 0 ball knowledge, bro, but he's got some edgy takes. Lou Harwood, Trippier over Prime Coleman. Lou Harwood, sometimes people go too far in their opinions. I got told Luke Shaw over Baines last week. Yeah, Baines was all over him. Baines was all over him. G. Lawrence Gyökeres was crap at Sporting. He was crap at Sporting. And Swifty Frimpong reminds me of Kyle Walker at Spurs. Good going forward, but not sure defensively yet. I already think, if I'm dead honest, I think the path is being made clear for Trent Alexander-Arnold to come back to Liverpool, and I think Frimpong ends up playing further forward. I think I tend to agree with you, mate, that he's probably a lot similar to Kyle Walker in that he's rapid, he's so quick, can do really well going forward. Defensively, we're not sure about it. But we'll see. I don't think he's sus defensively. I just don't think we've got any evidence, really. Because that's the annoying thing about Frimpong. Slot hasn't even played him as a right-back, really. He's played, for the most part, Slot has played Frimpong at right wing. I don't understand it. He signed a £40 million right-back and played him at right wing. It's crazy. Absolutely crazy. Right, half-time here. Northern Ireland 0, Germany 1. Yeah, big second half upcoming. Ronnie Dodge, the game against you guys Sunday will be interesting. Who Ruben starts on the left, out of Mount or Cunha? I would start Cunha for the pace, and I hope we see Lamans in goal. Listen, he's 100% going to start Lamans. I don't think there's any doubt at all that Senna Lamans starts for Manchester United. If I had to guess, I would imagine it's going to be Lamans, maybe Mazraoui or Dalot, right wing back. It'll probably be Yoro, Delict and Shaw, probably left centre back. And then I would say left full back going to be left wing back's going to be Dorgu. Midfield, you'll go Bruno, Casemiro. He might put Agate in there. Maybe it's Bruno and Agate, and then yeah. I'd be surprised if he does go and Burmo, Sesko, Cunha up front. That's going to be the real challenge for him. Liam, check the Lampedu Penke. Shocking. What can he do about that? And Isabella, how's it going? Mr. Luke Etherington, are you watching England tomorrow? I am, yeah. Luke, Bruno is way better than Agate. I know they're different players, aren't they? Bruno is one of them who's going to sit back. Or rather, Agate is one of those that's going to sit back and soak up pressure, put a foot in. He can tackle. He can't pass. He can't do much else. Whereas Bruno's a little bit more forward thinking. And I think going to Anfield, winning the midfield battle is going to be key for United. So I think Amorim might just change it up a little bit. He might push Bruno further forward and play Agate. Play with Casemiro and Agate. Isabella, which national team do you support and which football team do you support? Have a guess, Isabella. Have a guess about which football team I support. I don't support any national team. Which football team do you think I support? There's a clue behind me. Lou Harwood, England from 15 to 20 years ago would win it all today. Prime Germany, Spain, Brazil were cheat code. Yeah, that's it. It was so difficult, wasn't it, back then? It's been such an unbelievable couple of years. It was such an unbelievable couple of World Cups. 98, 2002, even 2006, the quality across, even 94 to 2006 was unreal. And then you got to like 2010, Spain starting to dominate the Euros, and then 2014, Messi's great World Cup. Doesn't quite win it, but played unbelievable that World Cup, didn't he? Hey, how's it going, Sean Football? Good to see you. And Ronnie, I just can't wait to have Lisandro Martinez back in the team. Miss them line-breaking passes. I think if you've got three in the back, you need pace. And Martinez doesn't have pace. And Shaw doesn't have pace. And Maguire doesn't have pace. And you get done on the turn every single week. Every time I watch you, balls into that channel right between full-back and centre-back, whether it's Yoro and Dalot, or Yoro and Mazraoui, or Dorgu and Shaw, Dorgu and Maguire, whoever it is, balls into that channel every week, do United. That is where we'll win the game. Luke Etherington, will Diego take over Amorim? Diego? Diego who? M.1, watching Sweden play is comical. Still losing 1-0. Lou says, why, if we have City when you have Man U and we have Arsenal and you get Spurs, but it's random? I think it's to do with easing fixture congestion. So the Premier League fixture supercomputer tries to get it so that it's something to do with, I think it might be something to do with policing. I don't know. I'm not entirely sure. I'm sure it's not congestion. Resources. I don't know. Because if you've got Greater Manchester Police and Merseyside Police running the same stuff, I don't know. I imagine it's probably to do with safety as well as anything else. Luke Etherington, the manager in the Spanish League. Which one? There's 20 of them. Sean, who do you think will win the World Cup? Spain. Can't see past Spain. I agree. Don't want to see Maguire start that game, says Ronnie. It's going to be tough, isn't it? I can't really predict it. You know, I think Liverpool will get the win because I think we need the win, and I think we're the better. Well, we are the better team, and I think we will get the win. But it's a derby, and form always goes out the window. Alex Macklin says, what happened with Isak? Why? What has happened with him? What do you mean? I don't think anything's happened with him. He is playing. I'm sure he's playing tonight. M.1, Isak and Gyökeres looking like Beto and Fulkrug. Isak's created a couple of sitters for Sweden against Switzerland. Yeah, he did really well against Switzerland. Put a couple on a plate for Bergvall, and Bergvall skied it. So Isak played all right against Switzerland. Lou says, Newcastle, we always seem to have them on a Monday or a Wednesday at 8 PM too. Yeah, difficult place to go, St James's Park, when it's midweek, innit? Midweek, 8 o'clock kickoff. M.1, honestly, Gyökeres looks like a championship striker. Arsenal bought into the hype. I think Gyökeres is incredibly poor, to be honest. I think he's certainly not a Premier League winning striker anyway. Yeah, he's not a Premier League winning striker. Joe, is that a dig, Key? What, to say Newcastle's not an easy place to get to at 8 o'clock on a Wednesday night for an 8 o'clock kickoff? No, not at all. It's not a dig. It's just facts. It's tough. Because then when the game finishes, you've still got to get back down south, and you're usually only getting in at 3 in the morning. M.1, he heavily relies on overpowering, but fails at that too. He needs space, doesn't he? He needs space in behind. He's not a player who operates in tight spaces. He's not someone who can pick the ball up to feet, you know, turn, and he's not doing any of that sort of stuff. He doesn't do it anywhere near enough. Luke Etherington, the Atletico manages to take over as Man United new manager. Simeone? Nah, Simeone. I think Simeone probably retires. When he leaves Atletico Madrid, I think he retires. That'll be him done. He's a one-club man. I don't think he goes somewhere else. Or if he does, I imagine he probably leaves maybe a year or two in between. A bit like Klopp's doing. I imagine Pep might do the same. Finish at City, have a year or two off, and just kind of travel the world, take a bit of time out, relax. And the longer you're out of it, the longer you're away from the game, the more you're in demand. Like, you know for a fact if the Real Madrid job came up tomorrow, Jurgen Klopp would be like the first name mentioned, wouldn't he? He would be the one everyone would be shouting. It's going to go to Klopp. Klopp's going to get it because he's out of work at the moment. Or at least, he's not out of work. He's the head of football, RB Leipzig, at Red Bull Football. Liam Manning, Sean Dyche at Forest, and who will get Rangers' job after Gerrard rejected them? I think Sean Dyche to Rangers would be the one. I'd be really surprised if Sean Dyche goes to Forest. If Dyche goes to Forest, he's done really well there to get that job. I think Dyche to Rangers would make more sense. And then maybe, I don't know, Gerrard to Forest maybe. I don't know. M.1, I'm saying it now. When Havertz is fit, he will bench Gyökeres. I absolutely agree with that. That's a great shout. I absolutely agree. Victor Gyökeres won't stay centre forward for Arsenal this season. Havertz and Jesus are both better. Both better players. And M.1, even when running in behind, he doesn't look the quickest. The centre-backs always catch him. Nemanja, 1389, Fulham v Arsenal predictions. 2-1, maybe 1-1. 2-1 Arsenal. I think 2-1 Arsenal. Fulham might just take the lead and then Arsenal come back and win it. The same way they've been doing against Newcastle and whatever. It'll annoy me. Luke Etherington is 10th place, the Champions League place for the Premier League. 10th? No. 4th. Just 4th. Very unlikely that there's any more than 4 this year. Liam, if Dyche goes Forest, does that mean they're in a relegation scrap already? And Alex, Voletman looks class. I assume you mean Voltemade. And what are you basing that on? Are you basing it on the fact that he scored tonight? Because if you are, I've watched the first half, mate, and I can tell you, he's not been very good. He scored when the ball hit his shoulder off a corner and bounced in. So, yeah, the idea that he's world class. Oh, here we go. Joe's bouncing in straight away. I'm not having an opportunity. I'm not taking the opportunity to have a pop at Voltemade. But I'm also not having somebody come on and say, oh, he's unbelievable, class Voltemade. He's done out. He's done absolutely nothing. Good on the ball. You're not watching this game, Alex, are you? You're not watching this game to make that comment because he's not been good on the ball. He's lost it nearly every time he's got it tonight. But every time, the ball came in and he jumped for it. He won the header, but he never got a header on it. It hit his shoulder and bounced in. And all of a sudden he's got a goal. And that's all people will talk about. Joe, we can't fault Wirtz though with his performances, mate. This is where it's intellectually disingenuous, right? We absolutely can find fault with Florian Wirtz on his performances. There's no problem with that. What I'm saying is, let's not just base everything on goals and assists. Because otherwise, you'd look at Voltemade and say he started brilliantly. And Wirtz has been shocking. And I'm saying there's far more nuance to that. Because Wirtz has actually been quite decent. He's done alright. Whereas Voltemade, he's been okay. He's been alright. He's had a few goals. But actually, his general play has been pretty basic. Pretty basic. I've not been wowed by him. And not was I expecting to, by the way. Nor was I expecting to. So I am genuinely not having a pop at him because he's a young player coming into the Premier League. He's a young player starting for Germany. All of this is really, really good. The fact that he's scoring goals is really, really good. And he's contributing. So I have no problem at all with Voltemade, but I'm not bowled over by him. I don't think he's a great player. Right, we're off for the second half, I think, nearly. That guy, Miles, do you think you'll beat United Sunday? I do, yes. Yeah, I do. Just say it, mate, you know, Markham. Joe, his link-up play is unreal. Just watch the Forest and USG games back as well as Arsenal. I watched the Arsenal game. His link-up play was not unreal. I don't know where you're getting that from. His link-up play against Arsenal was pretty poor. USG, you're playing Belgian farmers. So, you know, congratulations, I guess. And what was the other game he said? He was unreal against Forest. Do you know what? I didn't see Forest, so I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. I didn't really watch Forest Newcastle, so I don't know, maybe. I was at the game, pal. You're looking at chat half the time. That is categorically not true. That is categorically not true. And Lou Harwood, Man U will park the tram. And Alex, Joe, I bet you 5. Isak will score more goals than Voltemada. That guy Miles, neither of Sweden's strikers are doing it for them. To be honest, mate, Sweden's strikers aren't the issue. They're conceding goals like nobody's business. So Sweden's strikers aren't really the issue. The people who have missed chances for Sweden in these last couple of games have been their midfielders. Alexander Isak's put 2 on a plate. Certainly 1 against Switzerland where he put one on for Bergvall. Bergvall smashed it over the bar. Literally 6 yards out on his own. Great play by Isak. Knocks it across the face of goal. And, skies it. That guy, Miles, Glock still gets 20 this season. Yeah, Mediocres probably does get 20 this season, but I think 15 of them will come in about 4 games against Burnley and Leeds. Do you know what I mean? Gnabry's in, should be 2. Oh, he's missed it. He's shocking him, Gnabry. He's absolutely shocking. 1-on-1 with the keeper. Really should have put it away, and he's put it wide. Lou says, park the train, be so boring. I bet the Liverpool Man U hype is unnecessary. Liam says, what happened to giving young players time when they come the Prem? Too early to judge. They're just having a laugh, I think, these people. They're not saying it seriously. Liam, Gyökeres will not get 20 this season. He's on like 2 this year so far. Gyökeres will he's just going to stat pad, isn't he? He's just going to stat pad. Joel says, shocking because he's missed 1 chance, but if Wirtz does that, give him time. Have you watched him tonight? Have you watched any of Gnabry tonight? He's shocking. He's been shocking. That's not the first thing that he's done that's been shocking. Sean says, McTominay has been unbelievable for Napoli at the moment. He has. He's done really well, hasn't he? And Liam, he's not scored in 6 and they needed a striker, apparently. Swifty. That was Adeyemi. Oh, was it? All right. Well, hey, I stand corrected then. I stand corrected, said the man in the orthopaedic shoes. Was it actually? I'm going to have to rewind that. I thought it was Gnabry. Magenis came on at half-time for Reed, by the way. Reed got booked in the first half. So, yeah, Magenis has come on. Alex can't wait for Sunday. Liverpool are desperate for Sunday. We are absolutely desperate for Sunday. We need to get that win against United. It's so important. This is one of the biggest games against United we've had in many years. Because to lose 3 on the spin, it's a little bit humbling. I don't think we deserved to lose 2 of them, but we did, and that's the fact. We've lost 3 on the spin. And now we've somehow got to pick ourselves up and go and get straight back to it. We've got to go and get 3 points. And no better place to do it than Anfield against Man United. That's the best fixture. I reckon if you could have picked the fixture to go for it and get stuck back into it after the international break, it would have been Man United. That's the one Liverpool want. Man United at home. NR7, which team do you think will win the World Cup? Spain, for sure. Can't see anyone other than Spain winning it, to be honest. And Sean says there's no chance United win against Liverpool. I don't even think you have to win though, Sean. This is the thing. I think a draw for United's a really good result. You know, after the performances that United have put in this season against, Brentford away and Grimsby away, and you've not been brilliant away from home. You've not been great at Old Trafford either, for what it's worth, but you've been pretty poor away from home. And I would say that United going getting a draw at Anfield would be a result, wouldn't it? Yeah, it'd be a result. Liam, don't think, Key, that United have the new Van der Sar, so it'll be tight. The new Van der Sar, the absolute world-class Senna Lamens in goal for Man United. Oh, they're never gonna forget that, are they? Those 4 crosses that he caught against Sunderland, what a keeper. And if you disagree, zero ball knowledge, bro. Here's Gnabry into Voltemada. Hey, there you go. The next generation, by the way. I don't know if anyone's seen the... Here's cheeks, though, bro. The next generation of talent has been picked out by The Guardian. These are the best youngsters at each club born between September 2008 and the 31st of August 2009. An age band known as first-year scholars. So, Marley Salmon is Arsenal's best. Jack McGrath at Villa. Harry Webb at Bournemouth. Corin Madden at Brentford. Jacob Parsons at Brighton. Luca Fong at Burnley. Reggie Walsh at Chelsea. Joel Drakes-Thomas at Palace. Amari Moses at Everton. Seth Ridgen at Fulham. Harry Gray at Leeds. Lamorley Forrester at Liverpool. Finlay Gorman at City, Louis Bradbury at United, Sam Alabi at Newcastle, Callum Thompson at Forest, Joseph Cowan at Sunderland, Luca Williams-Barnett at Tottenham, Martin Paychev at West Ham, and Elvis Elendu at Wolves. They are the best youngsters aged 16 and under, 16 and above, not 16 and under, 16 and above, at every Premier League club. And going back to 2020, we can see how The Guardian did previously. So The Guardian had Charlie Patino as Arsenal's, Ben Christine, Marcus Eiffel, Michael Mellon at Burnley, Charlie Webster Chelsea, Jaden Raymond, Reece Welch, Stephen Parks, Charlie Allen, Kean Pennant. There's none of them, really. None of them have kicked on. Do you know what? There's not. Absolutely none. 5 years ago, when The Guardian did this exact same exercise, there's absolutely none of the 20 that they've picked that are ahead. Like, they've moved on. Absolutely none of them. Well, let's go back even further. Let's go back to 2015. 2015. Trevor Chalobah at Chelsea. That's probably one. Trent Alexander-Arnold at Liverpool. Josh Madger at Sunderland. And Reece Oxford at West Ham. It's not really been an awful lot, has there, to be honest? They've not done well, The Guardian, with picking superstars out. Reece Nelson at Arsenal. Angel Gomez at United. Jadon Sancho at Man City. Ben Woodburn at Liverpool. I saw Ben Woodburn score his first goal for Liverpool. Joe says Charlie Patino was good for the spell and a bad injury at Swansea. Dominguez Queener at West Ham. There's not that many that they've got right. So when you look back, there really isn't that many. Who did they have for 2017? Callum Hudson-Odoi at Chelsea. Curtis Jones at Liverpool. Anthony Gordon at Everton. That's not bad. Starting to get some decent ones here. Nathan Collins at Stoke. That's a good shout. Maybe Oliver Skipp at Tottenham. So they've had a decent... There's a fair few there. That's not too bad. But the rest of them nobody knows. The rest of them nobody's got a clue who they are. Who was in 2018's? 2018's Bukayo Saka for Arsenal. Fabio Carvalho of Fulham. Mason Greenwood, Man United. Whatever happened to him? Jackson Smith, Wolves. Dominic Hutchinson. There's not really anyone. Yeah, the Guardian maybe get out of the next generation 20 of the best talents at every Premier League club. They've got maybe 1 or 2 a year right. In a good year, they've got maybe 3 or 4. But not that many others. Leo LCFC says Skip plays for Leicester. He does, yeah. He does. But he came through the Tottenham Academy, didn't he? Hang on a minute. This is mad. So, San Marino, who are the world's lowest ranked national team, right? The lowest ranked national team, San Marino, could have a chance of qualifying for the World Cup. Have you seen this? I am astonished at this. But apparently it's true that the way that playoff spots are allocated, or rather, sorry, not playoff spots, World Cup spots, right? Oh no, sorry, no, that's wrong. It is the playoffs. It isn't the World Cup. It's the playoffs, right? So they can actually get to the World Cup playoffs. San Marino, chance, hit it. What are you doing? Oh, Northern Ireland very, very nearly getting an equaliser. Yeah, San Marino, if they somehow manage to lose heavily against Romania, Romania will get a playoff spot, and San Marino in the group, in the Nations League, will be the highest placed team in the Nations League that hasn't already qualified for the World Cup. I know it's mad. Go and check out all the permutations. But basically, San Marino have got a chance of qualifying for the World Cup. They're the lowest ranked team in the world. Could qualify for the World Cup. Crazy. Crazy. Because the fact that they got one win against Gibraltar and Liechtenstein many years ago in the Nations League. Oh, Northern Ireland into the side netting. Unlucky Isaac Price. It's going to be a corner. It's better. Much better. Sean, I think Florian Wirtz has fallen off his peak since he's joined Liverpool. Of course you do, Sean. Of course you do. Why wouldn't you? Keane Groves, who do you think will win the World Cup? Spain, mate. And It's Luke says the lols if San Marino knocked out Scotland in the playoffs. It's Luke says, can stand out in your age group from 10 to 17 and then can't adapt to men's football. Well, again, it's going to sound mad, but like people's, like your body changes an awful lot. between the ages of, like, I don't know, 17 and 23, 24. And it, like, people started getting, like, Gerrard didn't he? Gerrard started getting, like, muscle injuries and back issues. And, you know, sometimes you just bad luck and young players pick up injuries and stuff, and it doesn't quite work out that way. That's never a foul, ref. Muller Jim says Cape Verde qualified. They should be one of the favourites. And Swifty, growing pains. Yeah, well, that's it, yeah. You could say growing pains, but yeah, Gerrard was one of many who, around sort of the late teens, early 20s, just, yeah, had major issues. I think it was his back, his thigh. Yeah. I think he might have had to have operations on it at one point. Adam, Gravenberch injured. I think Gravenberch he was taken off as a precaution. I don't think he's injured. No, I don't think he's injured, but he has had a precaution. Oh, he's been taken off as a precaution. Foot Logic, how's it going? Callum the Copite, alright, how's it going? Germany, straight back out. Josh says, Key, what's going wrong with Sweden? To be honest, mate, I think the whole team has had issues. I don't know what is going on with Sweden, because the defence aren't able to keep clean sheets. Losing 1-0 at home is about as bad as it gets for them. They've got Elanga and Bardgeese come on at half-time. From what I can see, they haven't massively improved in the second half. It's been 20 minutes into the second half. They've not really improved an awful lot. 74% possession. They've got all the ball, but they're not really creating any chances. They've got Isak and Gyökeres up there, but they're not getting the ball to him. You want to see the amount of touches that Isak and Gyökeres have had. It's yeah, I don't get what's going on with Sweden, but I'm guessing the defence, they've got Johansson in goal, Hein, Lindelof and Lagerbielke at the back. It's not an awful lot of quality there. The midfield, Bergval's been pretty poor, Ayari's been pretty poor, Svensson. Just, yeah, it feels to me like what we've got with Sweden is two absolutely brilliant strikers, and then, well, one world-class striker and one, like, very decent striker, and then the rest are pretty average. Bergval is not the player that he has been for Spurs. Kulusevski's not playing. Don't know where Kulusevski injured. Yeah, he's not playing Kulusevski. He's not playing players like Bardghese, Elanga. Hugo Larsson, by the way, isn't playing. It's loads of it. There's honestly Holm as well. Holm, who plays for Bologna. Emil Holm. I thought he would have played, but no, they've been terrible. Sweden. Ukraine have scored against Azerbaijan 2-1 to the Ukrainians. Sean says, I hope Northern Ireland come back and at least get a draw against Germany. It doesn't look likely so far. It's been a bit scrappy, a bit sloppy in the second half. We've not had too many chances. It's been pretty quiet, to be honest. Adam says, is there a risk that Isak at Liverpool could become a Torres at Chelsea type situation? No, I don't think so. I think why do you think that why do you think that Torres didn't thrive at Chelsea? Because I think, for me, the reason that Torres didn't thrive at Chelsea was because he'd lost what made him so good at Liverpool, which was his pace. Torres had a couple of... and Carragher's talked about this a fair few times. Torres had a couple of very big injuries for Liverpool. And when he came back from them, he'd lost that burst, that electric sort of, gliding across the pitch. He didn't have that anymore. He couldn't get in behind defenders as well as he used to. He's still a very good striker. He could still finish, and he still went to Chelsea. Chelsea fans really liked Torres. So he played his part for Chelsea, and he won a European Cup, and he's certainly not a bad player at Chelsea, but he wasn't the player that he was before. But Liverpool fans knew he wasn't the player. When Chelsea signed him, he wasn't our best player. Like, when Chelsea signed him, he was already kind of like on the decline. And Carragher talked about this an awful lot. It was true. Torres had been pretty mediocre for months when Chelsea put the bid in. And the problem is that the one game that Torres had, the one unbelievable game where we was like, wow, that is the old Torres, was against Chelsea. He turned up and scored 2 against Chelsea, and we beat him 2-0 at Anfield, and it was like, wow, he's back. But he was crap the rest of the time. He was awful at Liverpool for most of that season. And it was because he'd lost that yard of pace. It's Luke. I don't think fans thought it was a long-term deterioration at that time, though. No, they didn't. And that's true. That is true. I don't think any of us thought that it was like long-term. We just thought that maybe he hadn't quite recovered. Bit like McAllister is at this moment. Alexis McAllister, he's not fully recovered from an injury, and he's not himself. He's been pretty poor this season. Now, Alexis McAllister's game doesn't necessarily rely on pace, does it? So, I think his is maybe that he's still carrying a bit of a knock. Torres, his game very much relied on pace and turning defenders, getting in behind. He wasn't that guy anymore. And Isak isn't the same, is it? Isak's not had that. He's not had an injury. He's not had a long injury layoff. Isak's been pretty. He's played 40 games a season, pretty much every season. So, he's not got any major fitness concerns or injury concerns. I just think he's been out of shape in terms of match fitness. At Liverpool, we press maybe more than most teams do. So it's always going to be having to go from no pre-season at all, really, at Newcastle to straight in to one of the hardest working pressing teams in the Premier League. It's always going to be tough, especially when standards are so high at Liverpool as well. Footlogic, do you think Gittins will be a good permanent signing for Chelsea? Not really, no. I think he's another one that's pretty average. I think he's one that gets farmed out in a couple of years, ends up at West Ham maybe. Yeah, that's where I think Gittins is probably a West Ham player. Joe, no pre-season was his fault, Key. I know, but no pre-season also gets him the move, so I think he'd have taken that, wouldn't he? If he has the pre-season, then he probably doesn't. He's still a Newcastle player, isn't he? He's still a Newcastle player if he has that pre-season. Sean says, when's the next time you live stream? Tomorrow, mate. I'm live tomorrow. You can go and check all of the live streams out. All of the schedule is on YouTube for the next month, actually. You can go and check it out. FM No Casuals, it's Kosovo. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't know. They've got to do better, haven't they? They've got to do better. Here's a chance for Germany. Good save from the keeper. Gnabry. Straight into the top corner. Good save. It's Luke says, Chelsea can't resist buying shiny new wingers. He's just okay, Gittins. He's all right. Like, I didn't think he was brilliant at Dortmund, to be honest. But I think he ends up kind of getting frustrated at a lack of game time and probably ends up moving on quite quickly. Be yourself, Dylan. There's a rat on the pitch at Wales. They had to stop the game. Adam, are Liverpool still favourites to win the Prem, considering the wins have been hard-earned? I'm not sure Liverpool are favourites to win the Prem. I'm not sure we really ever were, to be honest. Once you start making 5-6 changes to your team and, the Jota sort of incident as well, that's always going to take a little bit a lot out of the team. So, no, I'm not sure Liverpool ever were favourites. Arsenal have spent big, and they've gone and signed a couple of really, really good first team players, haven't they? But nobody that really comes in and immediately sort of steps into the first 11. Let's say maybe only Zubimendi, right? So they've only got one probably starting signing. FM No Casuals, Key, you've spent a fortune, man. You should be faves. But we've spent a fortune on players who don't really play in our starting 11. Some of them, and that's a problem. We've got 5, 6. Well, that's the opposite problem with Arsenal. Sorry, let me go back. Arsenal have signed a lot of players, but most of them don't start. Liverpool have signed a lot of players, but most of them do start. That's the problem. So we've got Isak, we've got Ekatike, we've got Wirtz, we've got Kirkes, we've got Frimpong. We've got 5 players there, all of whom are starting most games for us. That's half the team. You can't change half the team and expect to just waltz to the title. No, so I don't think we are favourites. Whereas Arsenal have had this solid same team for like 4 or 5 years now. And who have they changed? Zubimendi. Maybe Eze you could throw in there, but I think if Odegaard's fit, Eze doesn't start. There's only really Zubimendi that definitely starts for Arsenal every week. The rest of it's the same. It's the exact same team. Adam says, what's a bigger loss, failing to sign Gay or selling Diaz? I don't think either of them is a massive loss, though, really. I wouldn't characterise either of them as a loss. I think Diaz, we could have kept, realistically. We could have kept him. But we chose not to. We chose that because he wanted to stay at Liverpool. He said he wanted to stay, and we said that we're not offering you a new contract. We're happy for you to stay, but we're not offering you a new contract. And he said, fine, well then, Bayern Munich will offer me big money and you're not paying me big money. So off he went. It's Luke says, oh, Gyökeres. Yeah, fine, Gyökeres. Gyökeres first choice, maybe Havertz works his way in when fit for certain games. Gyökeres, fine. Okay, fine. Gyökeres and Zubimendi. So they've got 2. Two is something they can accommodate. We've got like 5, 6. And yeah, Gay's I didn't see Gay as a particularly massive loss. If I'm really honest with you, I would have loved us to sign Gay, but I didn't see him as a huge loss. NUFC NLY. Voltamada is clear of Isak. Hi. Only in your head, mate. Isaac says, yeah, your point is fair for one. It's a lot of change at once. But you have no defence. What do you mean we have no defence? We do have a defence. We have a very good defence. We're the best defender in the world. We're a very, very good defence. Sean Football says, do you think Manchester United are a curse for players? They're not a curse. No, they're not a curse for players. But they have, for about 10 years now, been pretty poor for everyone that's gone there. Yeah. NUFC says, compare the stats this season. Who is better? Isak, yeah. FM No Casuals, yes and no. I'm not making excuses for Liverpool, and it's very early in the season. There you go. Van Dijk is not the best defender in the world. He just backs off from everyone and lets them shoot. Okay. Sure, Malik Thiaw must be the best defender in the world then, eh? Dan Burn. Sven Botman. One of them. Newcastle striker Voltamada. Oh, he gives it away. Shocking. He's not, but he's good, to be fair. No, he's not. Bang average. Here's Wirtz. Good play. Into Wirtz again. Oh, he couldn't quite get to it. Unlucky. Northern Ireland just resorting to knocking it long here. Oh, I tell you what, we're very close there. NUFC NLY, you need to start watching football. Right now. Right now, I'm on it. Ooh, big chance here for Northern Ireland. Hit it! Oh, why are you doing that? Hit it! They're taking too many touches. Huge chances here for Northern Ireland. It's Luke says, did you like Bellamy as a player for Liverpool? Oh, mate, I loved him. I loved him. We should never have sold him. Do you know that Craig Bellamy is the only player that Liverpool have signed twice in the Premier League? That's kind of half true and half isn't true. We have also signed Fabio Aurelio twice. But we also... What happened with Aurelio is we released him on a free and then just signed him back like a month or two later. We let his contract expire and then no one had picked him up, so we signed him back under Roy Hodgson. But yeah, Craig Bellamy's the only player Liverpool have signed twice in the Premier League. He was unbelievable at West Ham and unbelievable everywhere he's gone. I genuinely think Craig Bellamy would have been a Liverpool legend if he'd stayed. Top player. Loved him. Proper shit house as well, wasn't he? Proper shit bag. Loved him. But a really good player as well. Underrated. Injuries ruined him, sadly. Yeah, I mean, it's, again, another tale of players losing their pace. Because he was lightning, wasn't he? It's Luke, did you sell him direct to City? No, we didn't. No, we sold him to Blackburn. We sold Bellamy to, I think. Sure, or did we sign him from Blackburn? I think we signed him from Blackburn, didn't we? We sold him to West Ham. And then West Ham sold him to City. That was it. That was it. Yeah. We signed him from Blackburn. And then we sold him to West Ham. West Ham sold him to City. City released him. We signed him on a free. And then he scored against City in the League Cup semi-final and won the League Cup with us. Top player. Him and Shearer, oh my days. They could start a fight in an empty room, them two, couldn't they? Long ball over the top. Voltemada chasing. Does well to get hold of it. Really good play that by Voltemada. Craig Bellamy inspired all shit houses. Yeah, he's like... He's got the spirit. Andy Robertson's got the spirit of Craig Bellamy in him. Here's Florian Wirtz. Good play. Get it in. Unlucky. Back to Germany's centre-back, Schlotterbeck. And he gives it away. Dyer and Boyer, to be fair, yeah. Dyer and Boyer, remember that? Sean says, what do you think of Man United's new goalkeeper? He's a good goalkeeper, mate. Yeah, he's a really good goalkeeper. But I still think he's got a lot of adapting to do. I think you're going to make... He's going to make a few mistakes. Put it that way. He's going to make a few mistakes and you've got to stick with him. But he's a good goalkeeper. I think he'll be more reliable than Bayindir. And I think he was the better signing. When United were talking about going for Emiliano Martinez or Senna Lamens, I was really hoping that you would go and sign Emiliano Martinez. Because if you had, that would have been fantastic. That would have been typical United. That would have been the signing United would have made historically. And instead they went and got the one that they definitely should have got, which is Senna Lamens. They've got him and that's, it's a good signing, I think, in the end. FM No Casuals, he was that, but it came from a good place. He genuinely cared, shows you how good a man manager Sir Bobby was. Well, he managed the best of him, didn't he, Sir Bobby? Remember Michu for Swansea? Yeah, Michu, the great celebration. Do you know what? Do you remember Alex Ferguson said he was asked about him, wasn't he? And he said, I'm sacking me scouts. I've got scouts in Spain looking for the best players. He said, I'm going to sack me Spanish scouts because they didn't tell me about him. He's the director of football, so is he really? Liam, he knew what the word derby meant. None of this shake hands nonsense. Is it Oviedo? Michu, wasn't he like 2 mil? Yeah, it was something like that. Let's have a look. Let's have a look and see how much he was. Yeah, £2 million. £2 million from Rayo Vallecano for 20. He was 26. £2 million. Unbelievable. But to be fair, there was a little bit of a clue, because even for Rayo Vallecano, he got 15 goals in 37 games in La Liga. So he wasn't even just like good at Swansea out of nowhere. They signed him after a really, really good year at Rayo, and yeah, just that first season at Swansea, he got 22 goals in 43 games. And to be fair, he had a big fall off in the second half of the season, didn't he? Most of his goals were in the second half. Yeah, he was unbelievable for Swansea. Lots of big players involved with that club in some way. He was at Oviedo. That is where he finished. No. So he's the technical secretary at Burgos in Spain. He's not at Oviedo now. He was at Oviedo. Speaking of Toon legend, Jon Dahl Tomasson is manager of Sweden. Yeah, and he probably won't be for much longer if they keep getting beat by Switzerland and Kosovo and every other one. Liam won the Carling Cup that year as well with Nathan Dyer and Williams. Oh, he did, didn't he? Did he actually win that? He did. They won the League Cup 2012, 2013. And they played in Europe as well. He's got to go down as a Swansea legend, hasn't he? Do you reckon if you ask Swansea fans who is the Swansea's like all-time 11, do you reckon they're putting Michu? They are putting Michu centre forward, aren't they? They're probably going to put Michu centre forward. Who would be Swansea's all-time 11? Joe Allen would probably be in midfield. Sigurdsson, aka unnamed Premier League player. And, Northern Ireland from distance, very nearly 1-1. Great shot that from Isaac Price again. Kyle Norton, Lee Trundle. Yeah, Lee Trundle, Fabianski, good shout. Monk, fucking Gary Monk. Who else would there be? Who was that Colombian winger they had? Oh, what was his name? If we look... Hang on a sec. Right, so... They had... Vorm in goal, wouldn't it? Yeah, Montero. Montero was good. But they had Vorm in goal, Ashley Williams. So I reckon it'd be Vorm, Ashley Williams, maybe Gary Monk. Angel Rangel. Angel Rangel, do you remember him? Angel Rangel. Maybe Neil Taylor as well, he was alright. Midfield. You'd have to have Leon Britton, wouldn't you? Leon Britton was a good midfielder for them. Pablo Hernandez. Wayne Routledge, Jonathan de Guzman, Kee Sung-young. Kee Sung-young. Oh, I tell you what, we were just talking about shitbags. Do you remember Chico Flores? What a player he was. Spanish centre-back. And do you remember the one where he fell down, didn't he, at West Ham? I'm sure he fell down at West Ham and he was like rolling round on the floor. And Sam Allardyce was West Ham's manager at the time. And you see Sam Allardyce laughing his head off. Yeah, unreal that. Absolutely laughing at him, and Chico Flores stands up and starts like, hey, what you doing? What are you saying? And Sam's just laughing at him. Unbelievable. Great football moment. Yeah, I think Pablo Hernandez probably gets in there. That was just. And do you think would it be Laudrup as well as the manager? Michael Laudrup, I think, would probably be the one who, because he won the cup with him, didn't he? That was the last good era, to be fair, for Swansea, or just in general. Trying to think. John Joe Shelby for Swansea wasn't bad. Yeah, he was okay. Bonnie, Wilfred Bonnie. We forget about Bonnie as well. Come on, Wilfred Bonnie. Score some goal for Swansea. Brendan Rodgers will try to claim it, but it's defo Laudrup. Yeah, be yourself, Dylan. 13 days of 31 done. 50 miles done halfway there. Nice. Well done, mate. Congratulations. Keep going with it. Won't get a cult hero player like Michu again. And Liam says scoring goal for Swansea. Wilfred Bonnie. Wilfred Bonnie was a great player. Yeah, he was a good signing for Swansea. And it's sad because it wasn't that long after that they were pretty much down, weren't they? Do you remember that? Do you remember that ball boy getting kicked by Eden Hazard as well in the FA Cup? That was at Swansea as well, wasn't it? Yeah, Jefferson Montero, I just always remember. He never really got that many goals, but he got loads of assists, didn't he? Because he was like Doku. He was like an early Doku. You'd just pass the ball to him, he'd skin the fullback every time and just stand the ball up into the box. He was really good. That ball boy milked that. Isn't he dead famous now? Sure he's doing something now. Swansea ball boy. Oh yeah, he owns AU Vodka. Charlie Morgan, he owns AU Vodka. And he's since appeared on the Times Young Rich list. He and Hazard have since reunited and appeared in a photo shoot together to promote his... I tell you what, he's absolutely smashed it, hasn't he? Fair play to him. Joe, remember Roque Messer at Swansea? Yeah, in with the little tash. Do you remember him? Yeah, he looked like John Waters. Nathan Dyer on the right wing. Nathan Dyer, Wayne Routledge, Jonathan de Guzman. Beefing Hazard, then becoming a millionaire. What a guy. Do you know what? I bet Hazard as well did that through gritted teeth. Like, you know that he probably got paid a fortune. It'd be a good laugh, but like, that guy, oh, you don't want to give that kid a slap. The man says, good old Pablo, what a player for us. Pablo Hernandez, yeah, unbelievable player. Right, we've got a corner to Northern Ireland here. We've got 2 minutes of added on time. Not an awful lot of time added on, it has to be said. So, might not get too many more chances after this, to be honest. Northern Ireland going to have to do something off this corner. Ball whipped in. It's straight out of play. That is absolutely shocking. Oh, you get all your centre-backs up. That's sickening, isn't it? That is absolutely sickening. Reese says, Key, have you got starting X1 of Premier League cult heroes? Well, do you know? So this is something I'm going to start. I'm going to do a Hall of Fame, right? I'm going to do the Premier League Dad Hall of Fame, and we're going to induct a new player every week from now till the end of the season. And we're literally going to do it. Aspas Corner. It was bad, that, wasn't it? Yeah, Iago Aspas. He'd be another one. No, we're gonna have a Premier League Dad Hall of Fame. But it's going to be specific criteria, and yeah, Michu is definitely going to be one of those on the list. We're not just getting in like, you know, you can't just have properly good Premier League players. We're not having that. We're having like Barclays men. It's going to be Premier League Dad Hall of Famers. If Barini isn't in there, then I'll be fuming. Barini can't make it. Come on. They've got to be in either for a significant moment or a significant season, or they were just average, but maybe they looked funny. Like not average. Maybe they were just good, but old. Like, two guy would be one. Gaisca Mendieta would be another. When they came to the Premier League, they were sickening to watch how good they were. Yuri Djorkaeff as well, JJ Okocha, those sorts of players would make it in that bracket, the age bracket. I think they would be our over. Like in X Factor, the over 30. They're in that category. Paul Konchesky can get in the bin. Chance. Oh, it's going to be a foul and... Oh, there's a fight. There's a fight in the 6-yard box. Oh. There's a fight in the 6-yard box. It's going to be a yellow card here for Northern Ireland, I think. And I think that might be it anyway. Joe says, Antonio Barreca. I was gassed because he played for Inter, only to find out he was 5th choice right back. Massimo Macaroni, yes. Massimo Macaroni would be a good shout. Yes. I'll have that. Joseph Desiree Job, just because of his name. Yeah, there's a good, you know, there's a good few Premier League players who you'd have in there who I think we'd have to include. But we need to give it some thought. Eric Jemba. No, they're just bad players. We'll have a Hall of Fame for bad players. We'll do some different categories, but I need to nail down the criteria. Right, Northern Ireland 0, Germany 1. Bitterly disappointing night for the Northern Irish, and an even more bitterly disappointing night for Sweden, who are about to lose to Kosovo. It's looking like. An unbelievable night, it has to be said, for the Swedes. Pup says, love Gattuso, wee terrier in the middle of the park. I see if we could have the Scots, if we could have the SPL in there as well. Maybe we do an SPL Hall of Fame, because I could definitely contribute a fair few in the SPL. But yeah, it looks like Sweden and Kosovo is going to end 1-0 because there was 4 minutes of added on time there. There's been 3 shots on target in the second half, all from Sweden, and it's looking like the Swedes are losing and the Swedes are rock bottom. And I think that might be them out, you know. I think that is genuinely them out. They're out of the World Cup. They need to win both of their games against Slovenia and... What are the fixtures? What's Sweden's fixtures coming up? Oh, they've got Switzerland away and then Slovenia at home. They've got to win both of them and hope that Kosovo don't pick up a point. So Sweden are out, in other words. They're out. Can they get in via the Nations League? Amir Zaki would be another one. Absolutely, get him in. I don't think he can get in via the Nations League. No, I'm not sure they can. Timu Puki's got to get in there. I would agree so, yeah. Hall of Fame for what? Oh, just Hall of Fame. We'll just create some. I don't know. Just create some general. I don't know. Come on. I don't know. I'm just gutted. I'm gutted Sweden have lost because I had them on everything. I had them on absolutely everything to win. So I'm down on Sweden. Right. That's me for tonight then. That is me. We've watched Germany win 1-0 against Northern Ireland. It wasn't a particularly good goal. Voltemada with his elbow knocking the ball in to make it 1-0 at the end there. Yeah. We'll be back tomorrow for... Who have we got tomorrow, actually? I should know. Who have we got tomorrow? England. Oh, it's England tomorrow. Oh, England against Latvia. Oh, it's going to be crap. There you go. Building up suspense. The international break's always a bit rubbish. But we'll have a laugh. We'll talk some football. We'll talk a little bit more. We'll have a laugh. And, yeah, look forward to seeing you all tomorrow. England v Latvia is our last international game. After that, it's Huddersfield Town against Bolton on Thursday. Then Borough v Ipswich on Friday. And then we're back into the Premier League again. Forest against Chelsea. Fulham against Arsenal. Spurs against Villa. And then the big one, Liverpool against Man United on Sunday. So, loads of good footy this week. Wales lost 4-2, says Dylan. Cheers for that, Dylan. Thank you. Is it best old players in the Prem? Not old players, no. We're going to have some criteria, but I guess it's players that aren't like... I don't know. It's not players that are like so bad, like Jemba, Kleberson. They wouldn't count, right? But players like Mendieta, Okocha, they would. Pukki would. Michu would, even though Michu wasn't old. So yeah, it's not about the age of the player when they come to the Premier League. It's kind of about how expected they were to do what they did, maybe. You see Jaskalainen. See, Jaskalainen, I feel like he was in the Premier League too long to be considered in this particular Hall of Fame that I'm creating. Maybe we have a different type of Hall of Fame. I don't know. For goalkeepers, I'm not sure Jaskalainen gets in it. For goalkeepers, do you know? I tell you who does get in it, right? I'll tell you who does get in it. Julian Speroni or Gabor Kirai, 2 ex-Palace goalkeepers. Both of those, for some reason, come straight to me as a goalkeeper that should be in it. Andy Gorham. Yeah, for Man United. Andy Gorham. Do you remember that? Him coming in on... Was he coming on loan? I think so. Right. Well, I'm off. Yeah, I'm off. I will see you all tomorrow for England against Latvia. Might be a little bit better than it is tonight anyway. Have a nice night, whatever you're doing, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Take it easy.